And the Titanic. We may have made that last one up. Check out Carius in the mornings on Sports 1440. Your game, your station.
The Nissan Black Friday event is here. A full month packed with awesome vehicles and exclusive deals. Right now, finance remaining 2025 Rogue models for 0% for up to 60 months and start planning your adventures. This Black Friday, we've got great offers and limited inventory. Get yours today before they're all gone. These offers won't last. Go see your local Nissan dealer or Nissan.ca for more details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
The cookie that gives back is almost here. Tim's Holiday Smile Cookie is coming back from November 17th to 23rd. 100% of proceeds are donated to local charities, community groups, and Tim Hortons Foundation camps. Get ready to grab yours.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, the Edmonton Oilers are a team in the National Hockey League. I'm not prepared to go any farther. Actually, the Oilers offense is coming along at 5-on-5. The defense looks very poor. And Calvin Pickard, the pipes were calling from glen to glen last night and down the mountainside. We'll talk about that and more today on the Lowdown, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Family owned and community driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. As you know, we are live on YouTube and Sports 1440, iHeartRadio online, sports1440.ca, Radio Player Canada. After the show, it's Apple and Spotify podcast. We tweet it out on X. You can text us anytime. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We're on Twitter at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, at JFenwick04, SamW1440. Our guest today, Steve Lansky, will drop by at 1 o'clock, and we have Reese Maji from Ben Stelter School, the fundraiser there, and we're looking forward to talking to Reed and to Reese at 12:40 today. Declination's top 5 NHL and NBA MVPs early season edition. And here we go. Time for the introductions. He once wrote an online article called 3 Snacks That Will Be Guaranteed Touchdowns at Your Super Bowl Party. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sam Wilness. Sam Wilness.
Hello, how are we doing today?
Good. You're the producer. You definitely have to know where the mics are. Am I going to go online and find more of these? How many things did you write that reached enough ears to be remembered online?
Surprisingly, it seems that they all are going to be remembered here. I didn't expect anyone to read them, but
what are the 3 snacks? You don't remember.
I don't remember. I think I said something about wings,
wow,
taquitos, and one other thing. Maybe it was like Pop-Tarts or
well,
not Pop-Tarts.
But that would
nachos.
fit with your brand.
I said nachos.
All right. He will spend the next 2 hours working hard, then race to his car, wait for me to exit, and then attempt to drive over me. It's on video. I can show you several examples. Ladies and gentlemen, he won't stop. Josh Fenwick.
Thank you. Yeah, everyone check out my YouTube. Josh Tries to Kill Lowetide. Dash cam footage every day.
That would be very popular, and there'd be betting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting out in neutral someday. I'll take suggestions from the comments on how to do it. Should I start out in neutral and just roll?
It's not like I'm going fast. You know what I mean? You don't have to gun it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Since yesterday's flashback workout video saw thousands of new views, this next man might be the next Dwayne Johnson. Can you smell what Declan is cooking? It's Declan Krueger, everybody.
I too like Pop-Tarts as my essential Super Bowl snack.
I like The Rock so much. I like some of his movies. The one where the earthquake in San Francisco, I like that one.
Yeah, Earthquake in San Francisco.
What I don't know what it's called.
No, it's not called that.
Yeah.
Bad actor. Ugh.
I don't care. I like The Rock.
Yeah.
When you like somebody,
It's because do like the prison system. You're a big Alcatraz guy.
Totally.
What a reference.
Yeah.
Flying.
I still can't believe that
Off
only
the top rope.
3 guys were able to swim across.
Maybe. We don't even know. They could have drowned. Probably didn't. They probably escaped, but we don't know.
It's like DB Cooper. Maybe he's living somewhere.
Man, don't even get me started on DB Cooper because it'll be 2 hours about that case.
Well, have you read up on it? It's
Lowetide,
really
I'm
weird.
the DB Cooper guy.
He could have gotten away. They never found him. They found a knapsack.
They did,
but not all the money.
They found not nearly all the money. They found some of the money in rivers in the surrounding area.
Right.
He was
he could be your neighbor.
He could be. It's a crazy story. Look up DB Cooper. One of the best unsolved mysteries of all time.
It's absolutely amazing. Okay. All right. We got to talk about this. Oilers are not a Stanley Cup final team. I'm just going to say it. They made the Stanley Cup final the last 2 years. Right now, they've got a good defense. I know these guys are good defensemen. They're just not playing well. And I'm going to blame the system. The outlets are poor. They're playing defense too much. And holy hell, the only way you can make sense of how they cover in front of the net is if there's a swim up bar that we can't see and the defensemen need to go there. This is wild in the streets. It's so bad, I don't even know how hard to come down on Calvin Pickard. I do know that Calvin Pickard isn't going to last the season if he's playing like this. Any thoughts on those things?
No, I mean, listen, Calvin Pickard's time as an NHL goalie probably over. We talked about it right before we came in here, and you said something that I thought was great. I wish they were playing better defensively in front of him so we could at least have a bit more of an accurate assessment. Now, even if they were playing, like Jason's outlined the numbers. Going into last night, his expected save percentage was .868, which is brutal. And you do wish you could get a little bit of better defensive play in front of him so you could maybe get a better litmus test. But I think we all kind of understand. Calvin Pickard, serviceable backup, has come in some big moments. There were people calling for him to be the number 1 goalie in the playoffs. Like that was as recent as last year. He's done some good things. He's been a good soldier, but it's time to head out behind the barn.
Look, I'm telling you, it might be time to head out behind the barn for both, but you start with the backup. And I read in The Athletic today, it's an article that really looks at all of this and suggests that maybe they should check down and just try to develop young players like Savoy, who's coming on now, but also Ike Howard. Maybe he would be able to help come spring, but I look at Andrew Mangiapane. I look at Trent Frederick. Maybe they're going to play better later in the year. Right now, there's no reason. You could easily send down Tomasic, keep Ike Howard, put him in the lineup over either of Mangiapane or Trent Frederick, and there's not a fan alive who's going to criticize the coach. Those are all facts. And I love Trent Frederick, but he's playing poorly. And I love Andrew Mangiapane. He's bleeding at 5-on-5. They had to take him off the line. And as soon as they did, what happened? Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, and the kid, Matt Savoy, bang, bang, bang. 3 goals. Giddy up. And the 4th one didn't count. So Mangiapane can't play on a skilled line. They've got Hyman coming next Saturday. I know they're going to send down Ike Howard, and that's fine. He's a young guy and use the reps. I wouldn't send him down because he leads the team in shots per 60 at 5-on-5. He scored a couple of goals. He's good. He needs work on playing away from the puck. He can get that in the AHL. But you've already invested this much time in him. And if you've got players who are lollygagging, who are veterans, although Tomasic isn't a veteran, he's 29, then why not send out the older players because they're not contributing? And there are a lot of veteran forwards on this team. I'm just picking on the guys I'm picking on. There are others who are not performing. The bottom 6 is a wash in mediocrity, and I'm being kind. I think the top 2 lines are there. I do. I mean, I would run McDavid with Hyman and Savoy on Saturday, and I'd run Leon with Bud Colson and Roslovic, who is the new find. Like, as much as you want to be critical of Stan Bowman, my goodness, was that a good look. The 3rd line, I mean, I'd like to see Nuge on that line, on the 3rd line. But are you going to play Frederick? I don't think you can. Are you going to play Mangiapane? Maybe. I'm sorry, I'd play Ike Howard on that line. That's what I do. And as soon as Kapanen can get back here, let's do it. Because right now, there are a lot of players on this NHL roster who are making Corey Perry and Jeff Skinner from a year ago look good. They look bad. Look good. I'll get it. Don't worry. It's one of 2 words. All right. I've rambled on enough about that. Hey, what about that Thursday night game? It wasn't as awful as most Thursday night games.
Jets even had the lead at 1 point. Pats end up winning, but at 13.5, the Jets covered.
Who's the best quarterback in that game?
Drake May.
And who's the second best quarterback in that game?
Whoever Drake May's back of it. Yep. Maybe Mike Vrabel. He threw some touchdown passes in his career. It ain't Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Where's he going to be in 5 years?
Retired.
Piggly Wiggly?
Looking for Fox Sports.
Yeah, he'll be doing something that isn't playing football.
You know what
in the
Kendrick
NFL.
Perkins does for ESPN right now for basketball? That's what Justin Fields will be doing.
Did you look at his stats from? How could you be the starting quarterback and have that stat line?
It's tough. Declan and Lowetide. Did you guys see his fumble stats?
No.
In the
I'm
last
sure
two
they're not
seasons,
good.
He has 46 fumbles and he's lost half of them. Something
That
along those
can't be
lines.
true.
Brandon Douglas, the Duke of Delburn, has brought it up not once but twice today.
I'm going to look that up because that
the butt-
actually sounds impossible.
Who was the butt fumble? Sanchez?
Mark Sanchez?
Yeah.
Shout out Mark Sanchez, man. And then other bad quarterback plays. Dan Orlovsky stepping out of the back of the end zone when he was on the 0-17 Lions.
Who was the CFL player who spiked the ball in the end zone, quarterback, and hit himself in the cojones and went down?
That's a question
Down
for
goes Frazier.
Declan Krueger.
JMO would know this. This is why you always have JMO on speed dial, because JMO would give you a play-by-play on it.
Yeah, I know the play. I don't know the player, unfortunately. Now, hold on. I'm just
Pretty
looking.
famous quarterback.
Yeah, it was.
I'll go out and find Brandon. I'll get him to send it to me so we can be certain on this. But I'm pretty sure it's something like over the last 2 seasons, 46 fumbles.
Bell,
and he's lost half of them.
Kerwin Bell. B sent it in. No, it was David Archer. Damn it. It was David Archer. This is why you need JMO.
So over the last 2 seasons, I'm looking at this. Now, are you talking this year and last year or 2024?
We should refresh
and
people. We're
2023?
talking about fumbles for Justin Fields.
Because if it's 23 and 24, he has 16 fumbles and he's lost 5. If it's this
Interesting.
year,
maybe it's his whole career.
It has to be.
His
Leads
whole-
the league.
whole career, he has 48 fumbles. He's
There we go.
lost 14.
Well,
That's
it looks
brutal.
like he's really good at getting it back. He's like Marc-Andre Bergeron, used to play defense for the Oilers.
In 2022, he fumbled 16 times, but he actually only lost 2 of them.
That's good. Too bad he fumbled him. So he probably lost the team in total. So he got back 14 fumbles.
Yeah, and the head coach had a heart attack.
The team probably lost 2 full games of offense from those fumbles.
Well, you do lose it down when you fumble, right?
Bingo. But I'm talking yards wise. Tough beat.
Baseball is on the verge of a bunch of things, but nothing's happening yet. There's a chance Drake Skubal, who won the Cy Young, is going to get traded, which is nuts. Pittsburgh says they're not trading Paul Skeens this year, which means they're going to trade him next year. The Jays are heavily involved in relief pitching, but it sounds like they might be interested in a closer, but they're going to get relief pitching beyond that. And Bichette apparently has a pile of teams looking to sign him. So if I'm the Jays, I reach out quickly and get that done.
I've seen reports that apparently outside the qualifying offer, the Jays, if he doesn't accept that, you're going to offer him $201 million.
I'm getting a report here. I just need to confirm it. I didn't mean to ignore you, and I apologize for the fact that it did happen. Troy Stetcher is on waivers.
Yep.
And Ike Howard has been sent down.
Yep. Well, now let's not act surprised.
No, those
Right.
were the expected
Yep.
things to do.
The right moves.
I just don't think that Tomasic is a guy that you go, God, we can't send him down. And I know they signed him to a contract, but has he done enough to stay here?
Howard?
No, Tomasic.
Tomasic.
Oh, Tomasic.
No, I don't think he has. And I think he started strong.
Yeah, no, he just started early and he played a lot early.
But now, since then, it's been, I forget about it. It's time for my favorite game, Lowetide. The ice time of the bottom 6 last night. Let's
7
take a
minutes or
look.
less, I guess.
Well, you're pretty close. It might as well be that. David Tomasic, 8 minutes and 34 seconds. Noah Philp, 10 minutes and 43.
You got a lot.
Curtis Lazar, 9 minutes and 34. Matthias Janmark, 9 minutes and 48. Trent Frederick, 9 minutes and 21 seconds. And the big dog of the bottom 6, Dash 4 on the night and only 11 minutes of ice time. Andrew Mangiapane.
I like him
Not-
as a player, and I'm not going to blame Josh for suggesting his name and then have it going right in the ditch.
You all liked the idea.
No, not we've erased all those tapes. It's just you saying that. Oh, I think he's a really good one, and then there's silence for 6 minutes. That's how the tapes go now. I followed the Nixon thing. I know how to erase stuff.
David Tomasek had 7 minutes and 51 seconds of 5-on-5. Or even strength, I should say.
But he didn't do anything with them.
No.
The only lie. But I'm watching the game, and I didn't even blame now. I'd get mad at Knobloch. But who the hell else is he going to play aside from McDavid, Draisaitl, and the kid? Gee, we got. Are the police rounding up all the suspects today? This is
round up the usual.
We got all the usual suspects.
What's going on here?
Wow.
He's wearing a wire, guys. For those of you who anybody, Donovan Paulson is standing in the doorway.
Or as we like to call him, Kaiser Souze.
So is Connor. Connor's chilling.
Yeah,
there as well.
everybody's here.
Let me ask you this.
I always get nervous because as soon as I turn the mic off, they're going to ask me for my card to get into the building, and I'm going to leave and I'll never be heard from again. This is how it works.
Well, listen, Ike Howard getting sent down. I don't think anyone can have a problem with that. There's nothing.
They shouldn't have done it.
He's doing nothing in the press box, and he's doing nothing playing 9 minutes tonight. Get him sent down to Baco. Let him play 20 minutes
He leads the team
tonight.
in shots per 60 at 5-on-5. Where are they having problems scoring? 5-on-5.
Yes,
the coach can't find two lines to score when he puts Draisaitl and McDavid on the line. You got a guy who's shooting the puck more than anybody per 60 at 5-on-5, and you're sending it to Bakersfield.
Here's my problem. I think a lot of people's numbers would look good per 60 when you're playing 9 minutes a night. If all of a sudden you jump up to 15, 17, 18, those numbers are going to regress a little bit.
Then maybe we could give him a chance.
Yeah.
If you're playing Mangiapane and you're playing
yeah.
Frederick, surely to Christ, you could find a few more minutes for Ike Howard.
So do you think it's a bad thing that he's going to go down to
No,
Baco and
I'm
get
just
20 plus a
arguing.
night?
I am arguing it because if this is, everybody talks about rookies have to get their play on merit. On merit, Ike Howard should be on this team. And Tomasek should be in Bakersfield, and Mangiapane and Frederick should be sitting and eating popcorn. That's a fact.
I guess this would be my other thing. Like, I think you would agree with this. Like, I think Ike Howard is a much higher ceiling than David Tomasek. Just he came over as a 29-year-old.
Of course he does.
So we talked about this as well. You don't think this is a Stanley Cup team this year?
No.
Based on what I've seen, I probably tend to agree. So my point would be like, why don't you use this as a development year for Ike Howard? Let him go down there and get the puck on his stick a lot and let him get those 20 minutes a night and grow as a player.
Because you didn't give him, he didn't fail. He didn't fail.
Yeah, I would.
The coach won't play him. The coach is saying, no, I can't have kids on the ice. That's different than failing, Declan.
But no, I agree.
Look at our situation.
Yeah.
If you had come in here and I never let you be on the microphone,
which you still could do, by the way, totally within your right.
It would have been a nuts move by me. But you have to give young people an opportunity. They give him a sliver of opportunity, and he performs. And they say, now you got to go down. I'm sorry, I don't buy it.
This is my other thing, because I get all you're saying. David Tomasek being sent down, it feels like that's over. It's over.
It's already over.
But my thing is, like, sending Ike down, you're at least like, okay, we can develop this guy down there.
What you're doing is you're doing the thing that all organizations who are losing organizations do. You're failing to make a decision. Make the damn decision. And then when Tomasek is down in Bakersfield, you can send Calvin Pickard there. You can trade for DiPietro in Boston, put him in the backup job, run him for 3 months, and see if he can play.
Okay, let's take the NHL out of it. Who do you think has more success? Who do you think, if notwithstanding that the coach hasn't done his job and notwithstanding the coach hasn't given Ike Howard a chance, who do you think would do better in Baco in terms of development?
Well, Tomasek is 29, so his development's over.
Yes.
Howard will fill the net down there.
Exactly. Yeah.
But he'll come back and they'll say, now you got to work on these things. And he will, because he's not a wonderful two-way player, but he's never going to be. And the Edmonton Oilers are starting to come around at 5-on-5 scoring. Hopefully Hyman will be able to help out. I just think this is the kind of thing that when you send a guy down, like when Leon Draisaitl got sent down, he was doing everything but score. And the numbers were really good, but they had to send him down. They had to send him back to junior.
Here's the other thing.
With Howard, he's 21. He's already playing in the NHL. And you're not going to lose development time, or you're going to lose an opportunity. And this kid didn't fail. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
I'm around.
That's good. No.
All right. So we've got a very busy hour coming up, and we're looking forward to talking to two guests, I believe, who will be joining us. It's Rumors coming up next, and then Reed Kinda and Arise Maji from the Ben Stelter School Fundraiser will join us at 12:40. Declinations coming up at 1:40. And Steve Lansky will join us at 1 o'clock from Inside the Truck podcast. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We are making it easy.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the only place to call for heating your home. So when it's time to replace your old furnace, or for 24-hour repair with no overtime rates. Legacy even heats your shower with hot water tank. And with no interest and no payments for 1 year, it could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Aloha, Edmonton, it's back. Century Vision Care's 4th annual Maui Christmas event on Friday, December 12th from 9 to 5. Century Vision Care, Edmonton's biggest Maui gym retailer, is bringing the island spirit to your holiday shopping. Enjoy in-house savings on all prescription and non-prescription Maui gyms, plus giveaways, prizes, snacks, and beverages all day. Same-day eye exam appointments are available, and they direct bill most insurance plans, but spots are filling fast. Get ahead on your Christmas list and treat yourself to a new pair of Maui gyms. Visit Century Vision Care on Instagram.
Get Black Friday prices now at The Brick. Skip the line and save big. Get 65% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching Love Cedar chair. Plus, get up to 25% off bedroom and dining furniture. And buy more, save more. Get up to an extra $1,000 off select major kitchen appliances. Mattresses are up to 40% off. And with every mattress purchase, you're entered for a chance to win a cruise. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
It's hockey season. Before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rig lifting and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Hand delivering a hamper to a family in need fills everyone's hearts with joy. Be part of the Holiday Hamper Program. Adopt a local family and see the difference your groceries and gifts make firsthand. Sign up today at holidayhamper.ca.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the 2 best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save on Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save on Food. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. Visit Wolf GMC Buick. Is that the same one who sang Call Me Maybe?
That is not that. You're thinking of Carly Rae Jepsen, Canadian legend.
Right.
That was Katy Perry, future step Canadian first lady, maybe. I don't know how that.
I know that's
works.
a weird story, and there's some political ideas in it, which is kind of weird. But I did like was it Beaverton or Onion headline that said Katy Perry had a new song out that declared that Canadian products were made better. which I thought was Canadian steel products, the steel industry is better than any in the world. I thought it was quite funny.
The Onion does
and I know that's a little bit political, but I don't mean it to be. It's just that, humor comes from strange places, and we do need to acknowledge it all the time. Now, you've moved behind the board there.
Yep.
Which I think is where all the fun happens.
All the action.
You guys play part cheesy and online poker.
We hang out, man. We do the dozen. We play Actoral.
Sure. So what happened? Did Sam get the school call and he needs to go home?
No, that Sam and I think Connor and Donovan just wanted to transition him over to doing some social media. Pretty crazy to do it at 12:20, 20 minutes after the show started.
But in fairness to Connor, he got off the air at noon. And now he's just transitioning into the rest of his job before he goes to the Jason Gregor show.
Well, it seems like noon would be a pretty
good time brought
for
in
Sam to that transition.
Pounds of Wilhock beef jerky for you. So no,
it's not for me. I didn't order any.
No, but it's out there. People are eating it. I hope that's free. Jesus, that would be bad. It's Connor's stash.
That's not just for us to take.
All right. Okay, it's time for Rumors, brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. Great Canadian Solar has been helping homeowners and businesses harness the power of the sun for 15 years. Invest in solar and yourself. GreatCanadianSolar.com. The Edmonton Oilers have made a couple of moves you should know about. Troy Stetcher on waivers. My assumption is they couldn't trade him because he's a good soldier, as they say, and I'm sure they would have tried to find him a place in the sun somewhere. And if he does get claimed on waivers, I don't think anybody will be that upset. He really helped them down the stretch a year ago. Emerson was their choice. Regula passed Stetcher. This is what happens. If he clears waivers, he'll be in Bakersfield or be traded, because once you're in the AHL, it's easier for you team to team to make a trade. My hope is that the Oilers end up getting a Nico Dawes or a DiPietro in goal in exchange for Stetcher. We'll see how that goes. And it does mean Regula made the team. And if he gets hurt, then that's bad news, baby. And Ike Howard also got sent down. And there's nothing wrong with him going to the American Hockey League. He's a young player. He's never been in the AHL. He will play well there, and he will score there. There's no doubt in my mind that guy has enough torque to do it. That said, I'm demanding people acknowledge that he did not fail here in terms of what he could do. He's a scorer. He led the team in 5-on-5 shots per 60, and he scored a couple of really nice goals at 5-on-5 for the Edmonton Oilers, a team that is having trouble scoring at 5-on-5, which has been my only point down the line. So the moves were made. They had to be made. Zach Hyman's back on the roster starting tomorrow. We can argue anew about the lines and pairings. But I think most of us, this is what most Oilers fans, I predict, would say about the lines and pairings. You're going to put Hyman and Savoy with McDavid. Leon gets Podkolzin and Roslovic. And then the rest is a jumble, and not even the coach knows what's going to happen. Usually you see a coach scrap the fourth line for parts. You might see this coach scrap the third and fourth lines for parts. And I'm not even joking you. That could happen. One day I'm going to add up all of the trade Darnell Nurse texts I get during a period where he had a no movement clause.
Numbers don't go that high, Lowetide.
But he doesn't want to be traded. I don't blame him. And they can't trade him unless he says yes. And online and on my blog every day, well, you can make it really rotten for him. Okay, so he's part of your core group in 2015. He plays for your team for a decade. And then you're like, nah, I don't like him. It's pretty hard to do, guys and girls. Although I don't know how many women listening to this radio show are in favor of Darnell Nurse getting the silent cruel treatment. Doesn't seem to be something that would be, highly popular with any gender. Propane Pimp. Lowetide, since you love stats so much, what is it, battles per 60, and why is it 0? Well, I think we can all agree that Ike Howard is never going to be that player, right? But you traded for him, so one assumes there was a use that you had for him. I think it's 5-on-5 goals per 60. He has a couple, and he leads the team in shots per 60. That's my only point. I'm not saying that this is the world's greatest crime that he's being sent down. But ordinarily, when you send a player down, he's failed at what he's supposed to be good at. It's not the case with Ike Howard. Lowetide, I agree. Mangiapane has been especially bad. Minus 15 in 19 games. Also, Tomasek did a glaring flyby yesterday on a goal. He should leave as well. Howard has been okay. Should not go down. And the point of the article I wrote for The Athletic today is, look, this team, as it sits now, is not going anywhere. And the ceiling for Howard is much higher. If you keep him in the NHL and you play him, there's a chance he might help you come playoff time. Are you seriously in belief that Tomasek, who early in this season had every opportunity, and it didn't happen for him, and then Jack Roslovic ate his lunch, and then after he ate his lunch, he drove to his house and ate his supper too? It's over. Organizations are slow to make the cut when they shouldn't be fast to do it. That's my opinion. They're not cutting Howard. They're sending him down. I hate it, but Knob will probably go New McDavid Hyman, Podkolzin, Dry Roslovic, Manji Henrique Savoy, Janmark Philp Frederick. Probably right. The audio is really breaking up on YouTube. What are you doing over there, Josh? Trying to sabotage my show and my career, Josh?
Well, that's what I've been trying to do since day one. Tide.
Team effort back
you
here
and
to
Declan.
sabotage you.
Yeah.
No, we just had some issues back here on the board and some other things, but everything's all right. I promise.
I feel like I'm talking to Scotty on Star Trek.
Well, I'm not trying to beam you up. That's for sure.
Only because you can't.
Well, if I was smart enough to beam you up, I would not be working in radio. Let's be very clear here.
I think you're smart enough to do anything. It's the level of commitment and work ethic.
I don't think I have a problem with work ethic, not to sound vain or anything. I think I work pretty hard, but I don't apply myself to things I don't care about. I never did homework once in high school.
Right. So
I was on honors 3 years in
What
a
you're
row.
saying is if I did the work, I would be not working at a bar and a radio station.
Yeah.
Okay. And what did I say?
would still be working at a bar, to be clear.
What did I say? I said, apply yourself.
I apply myself here.
I understand that, but like I'm talking to the younger me on this one, so I'm not trying to be a jerk. It's I have children who are like this. If you want something, you go get it, right? And you do really well at it. You work very well here. You're a great person to work with. But what's stopping you from working like as a rocket scientist?
Well, at this point, my lack of high school physics.
Okay, well, okay.
That would have been a good place to start, but I went science 10, 20, 30 through the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, Declan here has great marks through everything, went to religious school and boxing school, and he's right beside you. So it's all good.
Yeah, no, it's true. I did take physics. Physics and chem guy.
You were good at it?
Well, I actually dropped physics 30 with 2 weeks left in the class.
Oh my God.
I like my grade was fine. I was doing well in the class, but I called my university that I was going to because I was going to get an ed degree. And I was like, hey, like, you don't need my physics class, do you? And they were like, we absolutely do not. And I went to my physics teacher and I was like, hey, man, I don't need this. And he's like, all good. Yep. See you later.
Didn't want to write the diploma.
So what university was this?
This was when I went to the University of Lethbridge.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's
I've been on that campus. It's a cool campus.
Oh, the campus is beautiful.
Yeah.
Whatever the opposite of Harvard is, that's probably what U of L is. Still better than like,
God. Between North Battleford and Lethbridge, what do you like about Western Canada?
I love the town of Lethbridge. Honestly, I'm just saying, like, it's not. It's not.
There's
McGill.
nothing great about Lethbridge.
No,
Outside
Lethbridge
of
is
the
cool, man.
university.
Listen,
the only down
Take
thing
it from
about
a guy who grew up there.
the only down thing about
It's
Lethbridge
windy.
it is too windy. But I like
I don't even
the whole bridge thing. Very cool.
Listen, when you take out the meth per capita, it's a beautiful place to hang out and live.
Look, if we're going to do meth per capita, your neighborhoods are involved.
Not my neighborhood anymore. I live in a much nicer neighborhood. I used to live on 119th Ave and 96th Street. So I was a block away from the meth capital of Edmonton, that's for sure.
Lowetide, I live in your walls, man. We both know there's no meth over there.
Lowdown with Lowetide. We're going to disgrace every neighborhood in Western Canada one at a time. I actively try not to get us into these conversations, and then I lead you right to it.
I don't know how you actively trying to not get us in conversations like this is the worst acting ever, and you hate Brad Pitt. So like it's worse than your
I was shocked by the negativity about Lethbridge. less than North Battleford, but shot, and then you turn it into the meth labs of Edmonton. In the NBA, apparently,
that's more our speed.
Yeah,
Here
that's
we
right.
go.
Rival teams would have interest in a Sabonis trade. Is this just conjecture? Is this something going on?
Any team in their right mind should have interest
Yeah.
in a Domantas Sabonis trade.
This is kind of the thing. It's like, yeah, we too would like Connor McDavid, fellow NHL teams. I don't know if Sabonis goes anywhere. Like, I honestly, they're not in a great spot, but they could be a playoff team maybe. And with how down and out that franchise has been for so long, there is something to be said for that and at least being competitive. And Domantas Sabonis keeps you that. Like a rebuild, rebuilds have not worked for them because they've shipped out some of their prized assets. Tyrese Halliburton, De'Aaron Fox. Like, there is something to be said for having a guy who is happy to be there and wants to play, can be a top level player in the league. Like, that doesn't just come around. And with how they do things, there's no guarantee it's going to happen if they trade him for picks.
The last guy that was happy to be there got traded for Domantas Sabonis.
Yep.
Bad trade. No offense to Domantas Sabonis, great player.
Well,
I think you would want Tyrese Halliburton in a guard-driven league.
Right.
They should have sent De'Aaron Fox.
Why do I see Ryan Lowetide? You're probably a fan of this saying: "Hire slow, fire fast." I don't think they should fire the coach. I'll just tell you that right now. He's had a frustrating year for himself and for observers. The defensive setup and alignment, the outlets, the coverage are not working. And everybody's saying rehire Paul Coffey. I don't know that that's the answer. Coffey never struck me as a tactical genius, but he did have them playing more confidently. They were on their toes more than their heels. Right now, they look lost, and we're 20 games into the National Hockey League season. And this is a good defense. I know that people are mad at everybody, but I'm not buying that. These guys can play. Their structure doesn't work. Why are they not covering the front of the net? What is their assignment? And if they're not covering the front of the net, who's supposed to? The center? Then where's the center? And if like these are NHL players, they're not dumbnicks. So if this system is not certain, like in cement, understood by this organization's players, then why not? I think those are all fair questions, but I don't think they should fire the coach. I do think that Tomasic is if you look at his time on ice, he was doing 19 minutes in October, and now he's down to 7. So you tell me if he's earned more playing time. He's 29. Look at the players who were 29 and came over here and never played in the National Hockey League before. Have a look at them and tell me how many guys have Ike Howard's future. And then tell me again why Ike Howard's the guy that you're going to send down, even though he leads the team at 5-on-5, shots per 60, and has a couple of nice goals at 5-on-5 on a team that can't piss a drop at 5-on-5. You tell me about that.
So, Ted, I gotta ask. Do you think if he was getting 17 or 18 minutes tonight, he would still lead them in shots per 60 at 5-on-5?
Let's find out. That's how it works. And I understand why Chris Knobloch isn't doing it, because it's hard to put two rookies in the lineup in the top even 9 at the same time. But I'm not letting anybody off the hook here and have them say, he really struggled. The whole team is struggling at 5-on-5, and he's a part of that. But in the minutes that were given to him, and there weren't many by the coach, he performed well. And if you can't extrapolate it and say, well, double that and he'd do this, I understand that. But you also can't say, in fairness, well, if you doubled it, not do anything more. Let's find out. He's here. He's healthy, and he can skate. There's no reason for this to happen beyond the Edmonton Oilers organization either made a deal with Tomasic that they can't send him down, or they're not willing to pull the plug yet, and I think that's silly. Maybe Tomasic goes to the minor leagues, and he comes back full of fury. And I hope this kid, Isaac Howard, goes down to the minors, fills the net, and comes back here and absolutely nails it, because he's good enough. He's a really good hockey player, and they got one here. And they have to use this winter to make him better by spring if they're going to go anywhere in the playoffs, because I don't think Tomasic is going to help them in the playoffs. That's my opinion. All right. Sorry, go ahead.
Here's my question. Are we sure YYC Ryan's question to you wasn't in relation to Declan and I?
Don't
Hire
care.
slow, fire fast.
No, I number one, I would never fire either of you. I don't think there's a producer I've ever worked with that I would fire.
Not even Connor Halley.
No, Halley is great. Connor Halley was, I'll tell you something I've never said before. Connor Halley had a really unfair turn happen to him in the radio business. And I remember the day it happened. It was not fair. He did nothing to deserve it. But you know what? He lived with it. He found a better day. He found a better job. And he continues to do that job today. So a lot of respect for Connor. At a very young age, he had I would say, a crossroads in his career decision to make. And he made the right one. And he did it without being a jerk. And that's hard to do. All right. Reed Kinda and Arise Maji from the Ben Stelter School fundraiser on the way. They have 65 schools so far. We're going to try to get that up today. We're going to talk about it, talk about what the fundraiser is and what the goal is. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Hey, everybody, it's Steve Principe.
Non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Breaking down the fine art of sports, one rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. 1243. The Ben Stelter School Fundraiser is an annual citywide fundraiser looking to raise funds for the first proton therapy treatment center. Starting in 2023, they had one student in one school. It was an interesting idea. And now BSSF has raised about $74,000 last year with 10 schools. This year, they have 46 a while ago. I believe that number has gone up. And we're going to get an update right now from Reet Kinda and Arise Maji from the Ben Stelter School Fundraiser. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So how many schools? It was 10 not long ago, and then 40 some after that. Where are we now?
Yeah, so we already have 65 schools signed up. And with that amount, we are projecting, or our goal is to raise $250,000.
Wow. And the I think the outer marker goal was 97. I don't be honest, I don't even know how many schools are eligible, but 97 seems like a very big number, but so does 65. That's incredible.
Yeah, there's a lot of schools involved, and it does make me really proud of our team and our initiative because the more schools that are involved, the more money we can raise in order to bring proton therapy to Canada.
And it's I think there's 3 days left. The deadline for registration for schools is November 17th. And the idea, I think, I've been part of school fundraisers as a student. Now, that was many years ago, but also when my kids were in school. And these things have a tendency to really have great success when the students, the kids themselves, are really heavily involved. And I feel like the Ben Stelter School Fundraiser and the fact that it's such a worthy cause probably is inspiring to young people.
Yeah, I think it's very inspiring because Ben is well known in the Edmonton community and he left a really lasting legacy on our community. And the fact that there's such a big incentive involved as well, the fact that you get to meet Connor McDavid and there's so many student prizes really incentivizes the kids to work as hard as they can in order to bring proton therapy to
Maybe we
Canada.
should talk about that. I know based on the notes that I have, there's a meeting, there's a jersey for some based on a certain level. So there's a lot in there that we used to call it a carrot in the old days. I don't know what they call it now, but aside from just doing a really good thing, these young students have an opportunity to take advantage of some pretty special opportunities.
Yeah, there's a lot of prizes involved for students. One of those is if we do reach our 97 school milestone, we have the chance for one random participating school to win an Edmonton Oilers team signed jersey and one random online donor to win a team signed stick and raise the most amount of money. 32 student leaders get a special invite to the McDavid Assembly. Students that are picked in order to have the most creative marketing campaign, they get a Sport Check gift card. There's a lot of student prizes involved, and I think that really incentivizes the students.
It sounds like a fun thing to do, and the idea that this is going to catch fire, I think, is already there with 65 schools involved. But the next step, I guess, is to talk a little bit about what exactly the fundraiser is for. Proton therapy, obviously, cutting edge technology and very helpful. Can one of you run me through exactly what proton therapy is and why it's such a big deal?
Yeah, I can do this one. Sorry, I had trouble connecting. So proton therapy is a life-saving cancer treatment. Currently, we're the only country as Canada in the entire G8 without this treatment. So a lot of families that need this treatment, which is usually the best one for treating, early stage cancer, they can't do it because it's too far, it's too expensive. So building it here, that's a lifesaver for them. And this treatment specifically targets just the cancer cells. So instead of, the potential to damage any other healthy tissue, it targets just the cancer cells. So that's why it's really ideal for kids.
I'd just like to take a moment to point out the fact that Aries was the one who had the technical difficulty, and I'm the old person here. So, one for the old people. We got the technology figured out, but you look fine now. It's all good. So let me ask you a little bit about the organization itself, and because I've been involved, and I've seen the a Stelter family at various places where they're selling armbands, and I get updates from time to time, but one never knows how big or how strong the organization becomes over time, and we all are we're touched in a very real way by this young man. So tell us a little bit about the Ben Stelter Foundation, and how things are going, and where you're headed. I mean, we've talked a little bit about the proton improvement. Where are you headed elsewhere in terms of what the future holds for the Ben Stelter Foundation?
Yeah, definitely. Foundation, something I've been a part of for about a couple years now, and I think it's going great. In terms of other stuff other than proton, that's correct. We do other things as well. We're currently working on giving kids magical experiences, kids suffering from cancer. We're working on kind of lightening the mood, just kind of how Ben had with McDavid, and obviously seeing that huge smile on his face. We want to do that for other kids too. So we're working on that. We're working on giving these kids medical equipment that isn't covered in Canadian healthcare. So that's a huge help for parents, and who have to often pay out of pocket for these types of treatments. And then of course, we're also working on some research. So, of course, that includes proton therapy, I guess, can be classified under that. But we're also working on funding cancer treatments, and kind of something where we're kind of working on right now is we're funding the discovery of spotting cancer from a blood test. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. Bless you both for doing the great work you're doing, and what a wonderful cause. Reed, I'll ask you, for anybody who's tuning in right now and they are wondering if their school should or is or whatever involved, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Yeah, so if you want your school to get signed up before our deadline, which is November 17th, you can go on our website, benstelterfoundation.com/school fundraiser to sign your school up.
And then anybody who just wants to donate or be a part of it, is that the same website to go to?
Yep.
Yeah, on our website, you can find all the resources. So yeah, that's the place to visit.
Well, you know what? Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate both of your times. Best of luck to you, and bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There you go. Very nice young people doing great work for a wonderful cause. It's I'm always struck by people who do work that I could never do, and anybody who's around, kids who are ill, or, we talk about cancer here, it's just a special brand of people. That's why, when somebody is talking about nurses or doctors, I get really upset when they're highly negative about them, because, I could never do that job, not ever. And, when we were talking during that conversation, and Aries said, we're trying to lighten things up. Well, hell, that is really valuable. I would not be the person to do that. So bless both of those folks, Arit and Aries, for the fine work they do and for the organization. And if you can get involved in the Ben Stelter School fundraiser in any way, make sure that you do. Just looking at the text line here to tee up the rest of, or the early part of next hour. Nikki Northside, I feel like we can get a better argument to fire Knobloch than we can to keep him. If we played devil's advocate, I think we'd come out on the side of fire. Well, here's the thing that I would ask you. Like, I have spent this hour, raging about Isaac Howard getting sent down. But it is a reasonable move to make. I don't like it. I don't think it's fair because I think he played well enough to stay. But this is what organizations do. I'd love it if the Edmonton Oilers made a different move. Well, you've signed Mangiapane. Surely to God he'll play better. Frederick has an 8-year deal. What are you going to do with that thing if he doesn't turn it around? Now, I know he has a high ankle sprain, but he's late to every play. They got deeper problems too. You know, the defensive structure is not right. Now they have a new defense coach. Is that Knobloch's fault or Mark Stewart's fault? Like if it doesn't turn around, there's going to be at least a tweak on the coaching staff next year. We know that. The team had high expectations. And I think in the article I wrote today in The Athletic, my point was, how do you go from here to the playoffs and make sure that you're optimal based on the talent that you have available? Just in case there's nothing available, like let's say there's no goalie available. I think getting a guy like DiPietro out of Boston or Dawes out of New Jersey now, auditioning them and sending Calvin Pickard down is the right play. And I also think that keeping Ike Howard around, since he was having success at the thing that he's good at, made sense. But the organization may feel like Mangiapane just needs more time or that Frederick is coming around. I looked at his skating stats based on NHL Edge, and he was off by quite a bit year over year, speed-wise. Maybe that's improved. Don't know. But I would say that we are almost 20 games into the season, and all the experts tell me that you can start making conclusions about a team or a player after 20 games. And in all honesty, I don't really have a quarrel with any of the defensemen, even though the structure is terrible. I think Calvin Pickard probably will spend part of the rest of this season in the minors. And I think there's a boatload of veteran forwards who are really looking at absolutely a downward trend in terms of where they're going to be in the second half if they can't get it together. And Ike Howard maybe got sent out today, but I can guarantee you his career trajectory is a lot higher than some of these players who are staying, and that's a fact. Steve Lansky on the way in hour number 2. We'll get together with him at 1 o'clock. We will have Declinations, which is a cool one today. It's top 5 early NHL and NBA MVP candidates. That's all straight ahead. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. It's time for an update with Declan.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Custom Floors Inc. Floors done right for homes or businesses. Visit the new showroom at 11577 149th Street. That's 11577 149th Street. Now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 to 2. Or you can visit customfloorsinc.ca and you can bring your next flooring project to life. Edmonton Oilers news as they have placed defenseman Troy Stecher on waivers and loaned forward Isaac Howard to the Bakersfield Condors. Other news in the NHL, the Maple Leafs have placed Matthews on IR and activated Joseph Wool to their roster, and Brady Tkachuk skating with the Sens. He will join the team on their upcoming road trip. One score right now in the NHL sees the Penguins and Predators tied 0-0 at the end of the first period. A little later on today, we're going to see the Canucks and Canes, Flyers and Blues in the late game will be the Isles and Mammoth. In the NBA, we have 2 games kicking off the action at 5 p.m. The Heat in New York to take on the Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets in Orlando to take on the Magic. The late game today will see the Golden State Warriors in San Antonio with a 7:30 tip-off. College football action sees Clemson at 20th ranked Louisville at 5:30 and Minnesota at 8th ranked Oregon at 7. In the dub, the Edmonton Oil Kings in action playing the Victoria Royals 7:05. Puck drop for that one. Sherwood Park Crusaders in Brooks today at 7 in the BCHL, and the Spruce Grove Saints at the same time playing host to the Vernon Vipers. You can get your tickets at the door or online at sgsaints.ca. University of Alberta Golden Bears basketball as tonight they take on the Brandon Bobcats at Seville. That tip-off at 8 tomorrow. Tip-off at 7. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick.
We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business, and for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Hand delivering a hamper to a family in need fills everyone's hearts with joy. Be part of the Holiday Hamper Program. Adopt a local family and see the difference your groceries and gifts make firsthand. Sign up today at holidayhamper.ca.
Back to the point for future.
Lowetide deep dives, sharp analysis, and Edmonton Sports Talk. Done right. Your game. Your station. Sports 15.
The hits keep coming at First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Watch NFL football at First Round, and you could win a trip to your favorite NFL city for a regular season game next season. Catch NFL action Thursday nights, all day Sunday, starting with the Pro Bowl brunch from 10:30 to 2. Then Monday night with half-price boneless wings after 6 p.m. First Round, burgers, beer, sports. Downtown and Bourbon Street, West Edmonton Mall.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions, take one for Gene Principe. Are you ready, Gene?
Ready. I'm not just here to make a thermo a couple of bucks. I'd never just microphone it in.
Take one.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom. I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for furnace season.
What's not to love? With no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year.
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike a furnace, I have no filter.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
According to
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. wolfgmcbuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Family owned and community driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. I think we're doing, are we doing girl groups or female singers? Because I'd like to hear that Blue Jeans song by Lana Del Rey if I could.
We can definitely work that into the
rotation. All right. You know, no, I mean, it doesn't have to be today. You're the music man. I get it. I understand. And it's been a while since Declan's been back there. So prepare for hilarity. Do we have Lansky? All right. Thank God he picks up his phone, honestly, because I don't know if I would after all the things I've said about him. Joining us now from Inside the Truck podcast, it's Steve Lansky. Steve, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Do you have Paul's number? No, I'm teasing.
Charming.
No, we've known each other too long.
We have.
I prepared a list of questions to send to you about the Edmonton Oilers, but then I threw them all away because we've talked about the blahs, we've talked about the hey, wake me up when April comes, and I understand all of that. But defensive structure. I said today that I think in the first 7 minutes of the game, the pipes were calling behind Calvin Pickard from Glen to Glen. The defensive coverage was a rumor, nothing more. And I couldn't decide whether Calvin Pickard couldn't play hockey anymore or the defense had abandoned him.
It felt like a bit of abandonment to me. You're right. You say, well, call me in April. It's the November Blas or whatever. But then at some point, and I was thinking about this yesterday, you go, now, how long are we going to play this little game here? And I mean, it's not like they're under 500, but it's not really what you want to see from a two-time Stanley Cup finalist, is it?
No. And it's what I wonder about, honestly, is, and I go because I have the memory that allows me to remember only the negatives, Steve. But I remember in late December of, I think, 2018, Peter Chiarelli on a Saturday made a trade for two defensemen, Brandon Manning and I can't remember the other player. I'll get it in a second. And the trades didn't work out. Ken Holland got fired. Peter Chiarelli got fired. But they sent a lot of stuff out. They sent a lot of assets out, and it didn't work anyway. And sometimes in an organization, I think you have to make the call and say, maybe we don't have the horses. And it's ridiculous to say that about a team that houses both Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. But last night, when Draisaitl, McDavid, and Matt Savoy, the rookie, when they left the ice, I didn't see anything good.
Oof, that's a strong statement. I hear that, and I do understand the. I wonder, like, if you're Stan Bowman or any general manager in the league, are you able to accurately assess your assets, or do you sometimes think, well, this guy's got the potential to do this, or this guy's got the potential, or this guy's on the verge of doing this? But at some point, don't you have to say, you know what, this guy's not going to do this. This guy's not going to do that. And I mean, those are hard decisions to make. I get it, because you get emotionally attached. I can't think of another word for it, but it's hard. I think it probably is hard to separate that emotional attachment. And probably the best GMs are the guys who didn't have that emotional attachments. The Bill Torreys, Glenn Sather, the Sam Pollock, all those guys, maybe even Jack Adams. They just didn't have that emotional attachment.
I'm going to sit this on a tee for you, but like when I look at this team, I go, man, there's flaws. And in hockey, it's like, okay, if we have this many flaws and we're still expected to go deep in the playoffs, the quickest fix, aside from firing the coach, and I don't think that's going to happen, but the quickest fix is to go get a number one goalie. And, the Oilers have done that, in recent times. The deadline, 06, they got Dwayne Rollison. They've changed over goaltenders lots since Connor McDavid got here a decade ago. It was Cam Talbot, and then it was Mikko Koskinen, and then it was Mike Smith, and then it was Jack Campbell, and now it's Stuart Skinner. So that's possible. But I feel like if Stan Bowman wants to make a move, instead of 5 moves, I think it's the goalie. And I know I'm sending this into a fastball down the middle for you.
Well, first of all, it's hard to answer in the field position, which I'm in, because you said Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen. And my stomach cramped immediately. You must have heard the thud as I hit the floor. Please, I beg you, please don't ever say that again. But you got to remember this, though, if you're going to talk about goaltending. When you bring in a goaltender, no matter who it is, you said Jeremy Swayman last week, whatever, there is motivation is a really hard thing to inject, or read, because people will always tell you they're motivated. Oh, no, I'm totally motivated. Well, you know what? Your performance over the last 50 games says you ain't. So you ain't. Stop telling me that you are. And I think a goaltending position is, look at, Dwayne Rollison was obviously highly motivated in 2006. Andy Moog, highly motivated in 1981. I think goaltending is that position that if you've got a guy in there who really, really has something to prove, I think it makes a bigger difference than just a different number and a different set of pads in the net.
So if I say Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen, you stop, drop, and roll right away?
Oh, well, I never made it up from the first time. So I'm still down. I'm now breathing dust from the floor, and I'm a little asthmatic. Oh, my God. All I can, yes, it's not, no, yeah, no, it's not good. And the funny part is, you listen to Oilers fans talk about these guys like, oh no, Mike Smith was great. Mike Smith was a loose cannon, free roving electron you couldn't count on for 5 seconds. What game are you watching? I'll never understand that. I don't know if it's an Oilers fan thing. I hope it's not, but I think it might be. I don't get it. I'll never get it. I'll die not getting it.
I remember one of his early games with the Oilers. Mike Smith sent a pass that barely missed Ethan Bear's ear. Ethan Bear was like 15 feet from him. I mean,
right.
Smith, I loved his confidence, but he wrote a lot of checks he couldn't cash in terms of playing goal.
That's a great way to put it. There's this fine line, right, between I'm totally confident. However, these are the 7 things I shouldn't do. You got to be pretty aware and sentient to be able to say that about yourself as an athlete. And I think that's when really good goaltenders come into the picture.
The sense that I get here is that Stan Bowman has been very patient. This team, as you say, it's not like their record is ghastly. They're not in a playoff position, but nobody's really worried about it. I mean, they have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and both of them are coming out of a funk, and it's going to be interesting times here. But I also look at this team and I go, they have Zach Hyman coming back. What if Zach Hyman's wrist injury means he doesn't have the timing to score that's 100%? And I think one of the reasons why Bowman might be keeping his powder dry right now, because I do think there's a need in goal, but I think one of the reasons he might not be going and getting a goaltender is that he's not sure what he's going to need at the deadline. This team isn't rock and rolling in the free world at very many positions so far.
Well, I love to talk about Zach Hyman, and they've talked about him a lot on the last couple of telecasts. But we're not forgetting that Zach Hyman didn't get 50 goals last year. Zach Hyman didn't get anywhere near 50 goals last year. That was a year ago. Time goes fast. Zach Hyman's not a kid. So I don't think I put many eggs in that basket. I think we're at the point where it's like, okay, let's think about shaking something up here, because it's whatever this mix isn't exactly a good mix.
Yeah, it's the Oilers are the one thing that I can't forgive them for, because they have such great talent, is being boring. And the game they played against Philly the other night, I thought they were very interesting, and then they went back to being a little bit boring last night. I think they've got to get that out of the system. The very least the Oilers can do is be entertaining.
It's funny, isn't it? Because how do you motivate yourself, and how do you motivate a group of people? And I don't know how many times you've been in that situation. I've been in that situation a lot. Sometimes I've been very successful, and other times I've literally gone into a room and almost banged my head against the wall. Like, I can't figure out how to push this guy's buttons to make him. And then, of course, as it turns out, the guy was unmotivatable and never should have been in the role that he was in. But those are really hard things to do. Like, I don't envy Chris Knobloch at all. Like, there's got to be the nights where you're laying at the roof going, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Did you have a lot of problem with the Chiron guys? Was that your?
No, Chiron guys loved me / hated me at the same time. My bar was very, very high for people who worked on the character generator, because when I started in TV, I was a stats guy, and I worked directly with Paul Graham, who was who ran the CG, ran the font machine for ITV. So Paul and I were like joined at the hip. So I was always right on top of my game, and not all the Chiron guys love that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but really, if we went up and down cameramen, I mean, how many different insights would you get? That seems to be the universal. Not everybody got you,
That's a fact. Yeah. But the thing that always threw me for a loop is you'd go into, say, Washington, you do a Capitals game. Well, your Chiron op was a lady who did news. She didn't know anything about sports.
Wow.
Oh yeah, dude. So like you would say a name that would be a pretty common name. Let's say Mario Lemieux, and then be like, how do I spell that? And I'm like, we're in the middle of a game, and I'm like, like, yeah, and you know what? That's just That's just what you got. And then you go back to Jimmy Wilkes, who was our facilities coordinator in Toronto, and say, Jimmy, that person really shouldn't be on a hockey game. That's all that was available. Make it work. Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks. That's really helpful.
Well, you know what? If you asked me to type out Mario Lemieux, I'd do it properly. I'd spell it right. But if you asked me live right now to spell it out loud to you, I don't know if I could.
Really?
Yeah, it's Lemieux.
That's very, very close. Yes, and I won't ask about Mario. I'm going to assume you're going to get that right. And listen, I won't say there wasn't an intimidation factor, because I feel for those people. You work in news all the time. You don't know sports. You walk in and you have these high-level sports people, and it's like, I am out of my depth here. And they never should have been put in that position. I always felt for them a little bit.
I spelt it right, Jack-o'-lantern.
No, I know. I'm not going to tell you that right off the bat. How about Chris Katsopoulos?
No.
Are you going to spell that one?
You know what?
No, I didn't think so.
It's a bad connection. I can't. Goodbye. All right. Two things before we go. One is, how are you feeling about the Jays? There's rumors that they're going to get more relief pitching, and they're trying to get Bichette, but I feel like I'd like them to go out and make a big splash because they were so damn close. Go out and sign Tucker or, trade for Skubal.
It sounds like they, free agents want to come back to Toronto. Yeah, it's amazing how that works. It is kind of an exciting offseason, isn't it?
Yep.
Especially if Bull Reef signs, it's like, wow, all the component pieces are still there. And hopefully the attitude's still there and the manager's still there. And I realize it's a very high bar, but it's a very exciting offseason. February is going to be really exciting when it rolls around.
Yeah, it's true. And also the Grey Cup. I always cheer for the West, no matter what, in the Grey Cup. I think the Saskatchewan Roughriders are the better team, but this looks like a really good matchup. And I always just cheer for the CFL to have a great game, and they always do.
Me too. I'm worried about Davis Alexander's injury. I think that might affect the Alouettes. And I should throw in a shameless plug that my podcast partner, Paul Hemming, and I yesterday interviewed Rod Smith, who's going to call the game play-by-play for TSN. We did him for the podcast, and I think that's going to drop tomorrow, episode 51 of Inside the Truck. Yeah.
Can you give me like a CC on that, and I'll retweet it too?
I sure can, and I'll tell you, if you love laughing, we laughed with Rod for 32 straight minutes. Oh, my God.
I love it.
Some of the stories, Rod's like, I haven't thought of that in 40 years. I said, I know it's cold, baby.
Do you remember what they used to call, like, it was Pat Marsden would call the first half for CTV, and then CBC, maybe Frank Rigney and Don Whitman or somebody would call the second half of the Grey Cup?
Yeah, Frank Rigney was CTV, so it would have been Marsden. Yeah, it would have been Marsden and Rigney, and Johnny Esau would have been the host. And they split the game. And I'll tell you, I worked at CBC. Oh, my God. Those CBC people, Bob Moyer used to produce those games for CBC. They hated that CTV group so bad, and they had to work together. It's like, today you shall be married at the altar, and they're like, I hate them so much. And they had to, that's insane when you think about how they split those games.
Oh, yeah, because the competitive level, I mean, really, in the history of Canadian television sports, the rivalry between even sports and TSN over the hockey rights, I mean, their careers were ended based on that thing. And I can only imagine it was, Ron Lancaster and Frank Rigney and Pat Marsden and Johnny Esau. I'm sure he, put off the gloves a few times too. Those guys are real people,
Oh, Johnny produced. Johnny was also a producer. But the thing we haven't even talked about is production philosophies were so different. Like, we're talking about like religious philosophies, or like it was, oh my God, I heard more stories, and I had nothing to do with any of those games until watching them. I heard more stories, and people would like make fists. Like, I was ready to drill them. And they tell me, I'm like, oh my God, calm down. It was 15 years ago. Relax, Bob.
Well, the thing that always drove me nuts was the CTV tape on the intro was stretched, so the music sounded weird every year, and they never fixed it. Just put it on a second reel-to-reel so you got a backup copy.
You'd have to rebuild the whole thing, and I don't know if you ever worked with CTV, but man, you want to make copper wire, throw a penny between two CCD guys. That's how you do it.
All right, Lasky, enough. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. Take care.
There you go. 118. That's Steve Lansky from Inside the Truck Podcast. They're dropping a new podcast tomorrow with Rod Smith, who'll be calling the Grey Cup game. And we'll talk more about that with Declan and with Josh on the way. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game.
Go deep! What you watching, Mr. Rooter? The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch! Wow! Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater? Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter.
For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
More fruit?
Check.
Satisfying texture?
Check.
3 amazing new recipes?
Check.
Let Booster Juice bowl you over with something completely different. 3 new acai bowls, loaded with delicious toppings including bee pollen, cacao nibs, and shredded coconut. Piled high on top of a refreshing blend of authentic acai, straight from Brazil. Spoon?
Check.
Booster Juice, Canada's original juice and acai bowl bar.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Get Black Friday prices now at the Brick. Skip the line and save big. Get 65% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching love cedar chair. Plus, get up to 25% off bedroom and dining furniture. And buy more, save more. Get up to an extra $1,000 off select major kitchen appliances. Mattresses are up to 40% off, and with every mattress purchase, you're entered for a chance to win a cruise. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
The basketball show turns 10, and we welcome a new generation of basketball talk. Hoop City with Paul Sir airs Saturday mornings from 10 till noon on Sports 1440. From grassroots to NBA to the Olympics, we've got you covered.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. Multiple CCMA and Juno Award winner. Platinum-selling recording artist and top 10 hitmaker. Celebrate the new year in Alberta, country style. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the 2 best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 at 123. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Family owned and community driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. You ever done that where you're getting ready to go on the air and you're just about to hit the mic and you start coughing and then you can't stop? For years, this is from Richard. For years in the decade of darkness, the Oilers rushed their prospects and by extension ruined several of them. Howard has had a nice start to his career, taken full advantage of this opportunity, get a taste of the NHL. But it's time now to send him down, let him develop at 20 minutes a night, just like Savoy did last year, Richard. I think that's absolutely rational. Nothing wrong with it. Now, give me 6 wingers who are better than him so far this year. And don't say Mangiapane or Trent Frederick, because that's not the answer. The Edmonton Oilers are a team in transition. And I just refuse to acknowledge that just because Mangiapane is a veteran and just because Frederick is a veteran, that they should automatically be protected on the roster. And I'll include others if you want me to name them. You go up and down this lineup, folks, and they used to call them passengers, and I don't like that because I think everybody's playing their best. But it's a hard league, and you get sent down when you're one of the players who isn't delivering. And in this particular case, Howard isn't delivering because he's not getting the playing time. And that's fine. It worked out really well when they did this with Dylan Holloway, as an example. So let's go and have a look at this. Is 5 on 5 minutes. Let's go have a look at the time on ice. Connor McDavid, 17-17. Leon Draisaitl, 16-21. Nobody's going to argue with that. Although it might be a little high, they're using them a lot, and you should. Roslovic at 15-35. No quarrel there. Podkolzin, 14-10. I don't have a quarrel with that. I really like Podkolzin, especially when he's playing with Leon Draisaitl. Then we go to Andrew Mangiapane. He's getting 13-31. He has a 26% goal share. Now, in fairness, a 46% or 47% expected goal share, but he hasn't played well. Nuge is at 13-16. I think you play Nuge. If anything, you play him more. Frederick is at 11.56. That's 12 minutes a night. And his expected goal share is 42, and he's at 27%. Kapanen is hurt. Henrique is playing 11.30. I think you got to play him that much. Janmark just started. Savoy is at 11.16 a night. And he's at 48% expected goal share, and his actual goal share is up to 36%. It was lower than that. Phillips at 9.46, Lazar at 9.33, Howard's at 8.57. He's got a 39% goal share and a 42% expected. David Tomasic, 8.42. So in this group, I would argue that Tomasic, Lazar, Philp, Frederick, Mangiapane, all are players that you could reasonably healthy scratch or send down. And the only one averaging less per game than Howard is Tomasic. What's the plan for Tomasic? I'd like to know. He doesn't play much. He played last night, but he didn't play much last night. And he wasn't among the group that was trusted. The Edmonton Oilers pretty soon have to figure out what they want out of this year. And if they want veterans to run with it, then the veterans have to run with it. And so far, the third and fourth lines have been very poor. Perhaps the Oilers should put Frederick or Mangiapane on waivers. Well, putting either on waivers isn't going to get really much done. They're NHL players. I can't remember if one or both have no movement clause or no trade clauses, but it's always a good guess they have something. But I think Tomasic would be a reasonable player to send. to the minors. That to me would be reasonable. He's playing less at 5-on-5 than Savoy or Hunter. How many Clattenburg types in Baco? Just Clattenburg, and he's not ready. I know that I see people all the time saying, got to get him up here. I mean, it's a rookie pro. That wouldn't be fair to him. I don't know that he's ever going to be an NHL player, but I don't know that he isn't. But this would be a bridge too far. He's struggling down there, but they're playing him a lot, and he can skate, and he has hands. I think there's a reasonable train of thought that suggests that Clattenburg will be a better pro than his junior numbers imply. I don't know if that makes him an NHL player. I'd love to have a Kiefer Sherwood type in our bottom six. Well, Trent Frederick is supposed to be a player who can do a lot of things. And I watched him in Boston, and he did all those things. We know about the high ankle sprain, but we also know that 30 is not that far away. So we'll have to wait and see. I just look at this Edmonton Oilers roster, and I think that it's they played a pretty good game against Philadelphia, and I know it was back-to-back, and I know that Calvin Pickard wasn't playing well. But there's a lot of things that, the puck was going in the net for the top line. But defensively, they were just, it was like, it reminded me of the Swarm. And like when you're structurally, that poor, I don't know if you get that back right away. And I don't buy that this defense is poor. I think they're all reasonably good players. They put Stetcher on waivers today. He's a good defenseman. They got 7 guys they like more than than they like him. That's a pretty good group. They just have to play better. And I think that their outlets and the way they cover isn't working. I remember when Dallas Aikens was talking about the Swarm, and he said, I thought everybody would know how to play that. They don't know how to play it. So we're going to go back. We're going to revert back. And, I mean, who knows whether or not it was so complicated. But it looked bad. And we don't know what the instructions were. But sometimes teams don't execute very well, and you have to adjust. And I think it's time for the defense to adjust. Adjust their coverage, adjust their outlets. The only person on planet Earth who types so hard into the keyboard that you can hear him is my friend Declan Krueger.
That's probably true.
No, it's probably true. Yes, it's true.
Well, it was worse when we were in the old studio here. Do you remember that keyboard?
Oh, yeah.
I actually took a picture of it and tweeted out. Everything sounded like a gunshot.
But what was funny
It was
about
like
that,
Chirac in the suburbs of Edmonton.
But what I always love about it is like you are moving over there. You are typing like a demon.
Yeah, there's work to be done, and I think that it's kind of the old adage, like you want to get you work out a system that's efficient for you, and you do things as quickly as possible, so you have more time to jump in. Because here's the thing, I see you over there drowning, and I'm like, I
better help.
This is bad take after bad take. The people are going to turn on him.
Yeah,
I better get in here. You know what I mean?
People have been turning on me since 2003. It's something I'm used to. I grew up Jehovah's Witness. I'm used to it.
I mean this with all sincerity. I think you were the least turnable member of Edmonton media.
Yes.
I think you're that beloved.
Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you meant I was stubborn.
No. Like I think you are that beloved, rightfully so, I may add, that you're kind of unturnable on.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's true. I think people would turn on me if I said something like completely irrational.
There's me for sure. We don't know about everybody else.
I don't know. I think you have to be, you have to have the courage of your convictions when you're arguing a point, which I do. But I think also that I just got here first. I started doing blogging in 2003. Mm-hmm. So I'm old. Like it's like I'm like Tide. when you go in, like when you're a young person and you go in and you just, I gotta get, I gotta get some kind of detergent for my clothes to put it in the laundry. What do I? Oh, Tide. I'll go Tide. It's a name. Lowetide.
But what kind of makes you special? And correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't want to, rewrite your history or put words in your mouth. But you were kind of blogging for the love of it. Like you didn't necessarily think, "Oh, I'm doing this so it's going to lead somewhere." Like you exactly right.
No,
and that's what makes you
honestly, I'll tell you, God's honest truth. The only reason I started blogging was I used to go to the bars, and then I got married. And then I would go have a drink at the bar after work, and then I would go home around 6:30 or so, or we'd go out for dinner. And then you have kids, and then so you're home by like 5, say, and then you take the kids to the park, which we did every night around 6:30. You come back around 8 o'clock, and you're not going to go out, but I got a few hours to kill, right? Mm-hmm. So I'd go online, and I went on HF boards, and I was bored, and so I started a blog because I wanted to kind of talk to other Oiler fans about the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. And then I met some, including Matt Fenwick, I met some really cool people who were cheering for other teams. And I learned a lot. I was more as opposed to innovation mode, I was in learning mode when all the Oilogosphere people started doing brilliant statistics. And but I enjoyed it thoroughly. But out of that came, my current, vocation, which I'm very pleased about. This didn't exist, 30 years ago, or maybe I would have gotten into it when I was your age.
Do you remember message boards? Message boards are still very big in the college football world, and they are maybe the craziest place on the internet. And that's saying something.
Well, I remember HF boards I was a moderator for. Dustin Nielsen was on there. I had to time him out a few times. Do you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, Dusty really started the conversations. Even then, you could tell he was going to be something. Can I get your opinion on MVP vote for Judge, please? Well, I know it was going to be a close vote, and I was cheering for Cal Raleigh, but I understand why Judge won. I don't know enough about, I'll be honest, I love baseball, and I know a lot of baseball, but I don't know enough about the value of pitch framing by catchers. I do know the value of durability for catchers and the value of having a catcher who can hit that many home runs in your lineup. So I think Raleigh would have been a worthy MVP, but I think that Judge is just at a level where if he performs like that again next year, I think you'd have to have a better year than Raleigh to beat him. So he's like when I was young, Joe Morgan won the MVP and he never gave it to second baseman, but he won the MVP. And then the following year, he had an even better year. So they had to give it to him again, and they did. And I think Judge is kind of there. I don't have a quarrel with it, but I would have understood it the other way. We wouldn't turn on you if you said something irrational. We just blame it on you needing a nap from EG. Very true. Lowetide leads in hot takes per 60. So I don't know. I think both of these fellows, Josh and Declan, are pretty good with the hot takes. I don't think that's the case. I think our show actually has some really strong personalities, and that's why people tune in and watch YouTube all the time. Is that right, Josh?
Yeah. Well, it's also because people will come in there and say cup year, and I'll say nope.
Yeah. Well, I think that's fair.
I just argue with people on there about whether or not and they'll tell me to believe, and then I'll say, why would I want to believe in a team I don't want to see win?
Yeah. Well, I wrote 1,200 words at the Athletic today that basically said this isn't the Oilers' year to go to the final. And I think that's fair. I think that 20 games is what all the smart people tell me you have to reach before you can begin to draw conclusions. My conclusion is that they don't have the horses. And I'd love to be wrong. First year in 4 that I have not picked the Oilers to win the Stanley Cup. So maybe this is their year. Wouldn't that be great?
Maybe you're the bad luck charm.
Oh, I sure as hell hope so, because then all these people who I love dearly will be happy in the summertime. And if I'm the brunt of a joke, it won't be the first time. All right, on the way, declinations. What have you got? Top 5 NBA and NHL MVP candidates so far?
Yes. And with the Grey Cup this Sunday, I was thinking of doing like a top 5 Grey Cup moments. But honestly, Lowetide, it just would have been James Johnson's 3 interceptions, Dave Ridgway's field goal, the 75-yard touchdown pass from Austin Fairholm in 89. It would have been George Reed's, what was it? It was a 31-yarder in 66 or something.
What a run. Holy mackerel.
G-Roy Simon had a 42-yarder in 2013. It all would have been Riders.
That George Reed run is the national anthem of Saskatchewan.
I want to know how long. Yeah, it was a 31-yard run to make it 28-4. Because that was the one that really iced the game.
Yeah, I did. And it was the game was in doubt. I watched it. I didn't see it live, you jack-o'-lanterns, but I've watched it many times. And Reed, my God, the easiest way to defend a team would be play the 66 Rough Riders, because George Reed's getting the damn ball, and he still was able to run it for yardage.
Call me biased. I still think he's like the best player in CFL history.
I would not argue with you. Yeah. My personal choice is Warren Moon. I love Warren Moon. But if you said George Reed, I couldn't say you're wrong. That's the truth. All right. Declinations on the way. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
I'm Grant Fedor from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and sadly, some people think orthotics are just glorified shoe cushions. But I've seen a runner drop 8 minutes off her marathon, a grandmother ditch her painkillers, and a 12-year-old nail her long jump, all thanks to custom foot orthotics. So if your feet are screaming for help, flat, high, or funky, that pain's heading to your knees, hips, even your lower back, our professionals will assess you, and if indicated, custom fabricate a pair of orthotics made just for you. Happy feet make a happy person. Feet shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business, and for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com and call today to get started.
Don't look now, but I think we're being followed.
Oh, that's just my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Well, they're driving pretty close.
Because they're attached.
Save up to 15% on select tires until December 13th.
Cool.
Plus, get up to $125 off a set of 4 Goodyear tires.
Anything else?
Get $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires.
Well, that's handy.
Yep.
And weird.
Well, I love my Fountain Tire sidecar.
Book your appointment online today. Restrictions apply. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Hey everybody, it's Gene Principe and Jason Stradler. Join us on a 7-night cruise to the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise, July 2026. Visit cast.tours/Edmonton or call 1-833-347-7678. Book now and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours/Edmonton.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Family owned and community driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. 143. We're late for declinations. Brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca. Article, podcast, and more, breaking down the green and gold all the time. The most in-depth double football coverage online, elksnation.ca. And with that, we turn it over to Declan for declinations.
Great episode of Elks Central today. Me, Eddie, and Matt O'Donnell, Grey Cup champion, former CFL All-Star, chopped it up, talked about the direction of the team. Go listen to that. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, or watch us on YouTube.
Well done.
Hey, thanks. I learned. I learned it from you.
Okay, top 5.
Yes.
Which one are you going with first?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give my 5 spot for each leagues.
Okay.
Then my 4 spot. And yeah. Listen, you talked about it being early. We're about a quarter of the way through the NHL season, so obviously that is still early, but it's not 10 games in, right? We're getting up there a little bit. We're seeing some teams maybe separate themselves from the pack a little bit. NBA a little bit earlier. At number 5 in the NBA, I have Cade Cunningham, point guard for the Detroit Pistons. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, even if you're not, go watch on YouTube. Josh doing an incredible job with the graphics.
He's really getting good at it, man.
Flying through it. So number 5, I have Cade Cunningham, 27.5 points tonight, basically 10 assists tonight, and 5.4 rebounds. And the Detroit Pistons are the number 1 team in the East. And quite frankly, I sent this to Josh, a few half an hour ago, whatever it was, and made it like ever since then. I've been thinking, why isn't Cade higher? And honestly, he probably should be. He probably should be 4. He, could even be number 3 the way they're playing. And I do like what Detroit's doing. I think Detroit is kind of building themselves in a spot to be a perennial playoff contender. And Cade's the reason for that. So he comes in at number 5. My NHL number 5, I have Connor McDavid. The Oil obviously haven't blown you away this year, and Connor McDavid at 5-on-5 hasn't blown you away this year, but he's still second in the league in points. He's got 20 assists so far this season. He's got 27 points. I mean, he's right up there in the best player in the world conversation, right? And even a down year for him is more than a career year for some other guys. So I have him at my number 5.
A great choice, and I agree with you. I love McDavid. I don't think he's in the top 2 or 3. 5, no. I think, is reasonable.
Yeah. Number 4, my number 4 spots in the NBA, I have Luka Doncic. He's putting up 35, 9, and 9 a night. The Lakers also 5th in the Western Conference right now at 8-4. The reason I didn't have him higher, he's only played 8 of the 12 games so far, 75%, not a good enough clip. And you have to hit 65 games to be eligible for the awards. But what he's doing is incredible. Shout out to Austin Reeves as well. He's balling out on that Los Angeles team right now. Luka obviously been the best player. And number 4 in the NHL, I got Connor Bedard, 10-16 for 26 points. The Blackhawks have 20 points. It was kind of between him and Macklin for me. I don't think either team has a lot of help. Which roster you like better, which line combinations doled out with those 2 superstars, you can have that discussion. But the Blackhawks have, I believe, a point more in one less game. I think the Sharks have 19 points right now. Blackhawks have 20. And what Connor Bedard's doing, I mean, special to this point in the season. 10 goals, 16 assists. Like I said, he comes in at number 4.
Do you think he is on the Olympic team? It's a tough call.
It's a tough call. I'd have him there. I'll say it.
I think it's between him and Suzuki and the kid from San Jose.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I want Suzuki there.
I love Suzuki.
Yeah,
He's the Pierre Mondu of the modern era.
I wouldn't mind Scheifele there.
Well, and that's a good, once you get into the conversation, then it's like, okay.
Then you start having conversations.
Yeah, and then it's like, because they'll go a veteran, but Bedard would be a nice choice.
Number 3 in the NBA, I have Giannis Antetokounmpo and Cale Makar. Starting with Giannis, 33, 12, and 6 this year. Giannis, if you wanted to flip him with either Cade or Luka, I wouldn't be mad because the team is only 7-5 right now. Obviously, that's a winning record, but they're 7th in the East. Doesn't have the best supporting cast around him. And once again, my favorite my favorite Giannis stat, Lowetide. There have been 2 players in NBA history to average 30 points.
Is this daily now?
To average 30 points on 60% shooting. Both of those players are named Giannis Antetokounmpo. He is tracking right now, and obviously it's very early, to do that again for a 3rd time. So he is on pace to do something 3 times that no one else in the history of the league has done once. Wilt Chamberlain did not score 30 points on 60% shooting. Shaquille O'Neal did not score 30 points on 60% shooting. Hakeem Olajuwon, look at the list of the great big men. None of them did it. Giannis is tracking to do it for the 3rd time. That's why I have him number 3. And Cale Makar, I mean, listen, he's the best defenseman in the NHL. He's also plus 18 right now. The Avs obviously sitting there with the league best 29 points. He's got 6 and 18. It'll be interesting to see how the season plays out between him and McKinnon. Marty Nikash is playing great as well. He's probably going to drop off a little bit. But what Cale Makar's doing, I have him number 3.
I can't disagree. Cale Makar is a unique individual. And
incredible.
They've been playing hockey defense for 150 years, and he's unique.
At number 2, I have Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. And you ready for this, Lowetide? I'm curious to see how you're going to react to this one. I got Leo Carlson second right now. Now, I'll start with Shea. He's obviously averaging 32.5, and I just wanted to get his field goal percentage right, 52%. Like, that is incredible efficiency for a guard, for someone whose game is supposed to be predicated in this day and age on outside shooting and mid-range. He does it at incredible efficiency, 32.5, 5, and 6.5. Like, his numbers, phenomenal. He's the best player on the best team in the NBA right now. This NBA MVP race, I think, is going to shape up to be one for the ages. Like, between what Jokic is, well, spoiler alert, we'll get to my number 1 in a second, but between SGA, Giannis, Luka, Cade, who may drop off, be the odd man out, maybe he's not. It's going to be a great one. And Leo Carlson, Lowetide, 11 and 15 for 26 points. And the Ducks have 23 points to this point in the season. Now, that's good for 4th in the NHL right now. We're about a quarter of the way through. That's good for 4th in the NHL in terms of points. He's been their best player, like I said, 11 and 15. Now, do I think Leo Carlson is going to regress? Yes, I probably do. Do I think he is more than deserving of being number 2 right now, by my estimation? Also, yes.
If you had to go back to the 2023 NHL draft, Bedard went first, Carlson second, would you flip them?
No.
I agree.
No, I think Bedard's a player. I
Great
think he's going
player.
to be a better player. But what Leo Carlson's doing right now for Anaheim has been nothing short of, spectacular. And it's evidenced in how they're doing in the standings. Like I said, 23 points to this point.
It's a great story. And, they brought him along. He played pretty well as a rookie.
Yep.
23, 24. And then he really did take a step forward a year ago, especially in goal share at 5-on-5. But this year, he's all about it. This is going to be a wonderful year for Leo Carlson.
Absolutely. And again, I can't give a big enough shout out to Josh for these graphics. So my eyes keep darting over to the other screen here. They're tremendously done. You can watch those on YouTube.
Really, really good.
Looking great.
Yeah.
My number 1, NBA. I don't think this is any surprise. Nikola Jokic, 29, 13, and 11. Listen, Lowetide, you might not want to hear it, but the list goes Jokic, Jordan, and then LeBron. Okay.
Well,
That's
this is like new information, and yet I hear it every day.
It's actually ridiculous what he does night in, night out. Like, we talk about, rightfully so, we talk about McDavid and we talk about Shohei. We got to put Jokic in that conversation. And to be fair, I think most NBA fans do.
Oh, yeah.
But the numbers he's putting up, the efficiency he's putting up, I don't have the stats in front of me, but it was true last season for the duration of the season. It's true this season as well. If you take some of the all-time best players in the NBA, your Tim Duncans, your David Robinsons, your Hakeem, if you take their career best years and apply them to what Jokic is doing, his averages would go down. Like, he is just a special talent. I don't hate the Denver roster, but I don't think it's anything overly special. And again, they're 9-2. They're second in the West. It's such an individually dominated sport, and he dominates as an individual. And my number 1 in the NHL, I think this probably goes without saying, I have Nathan McKinnon. Obviously, 14 and 19 for 33. The Avs there with 29 points. I don't think anyone can argue either of those number 1 spots.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
We have talked about the NBA All-Star team and the World v. USA.
World v. USA v. USA. It's going to be 2 iterations of the USA team.
I mean, I am now fully on board with the World having their way. What do you think the odds that the World wins this, by enough that it's kind of funny?
Well, this is the thing. Like, if this is Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth, everyone try their hardest, the team World would win, no questions asked. But it is the All-Star game. And at this point in their careers, Jokic, Giannis, SGA, Luka, for those guys, it's about racking up hardware. It's about racking up MVPs, and it's about racking up championships. Those guys aren't really getting up for an all-star game in February, and probably even less so when it's the 4th iteration of an all-star game in 5 years. Like, that's just kind of the reality of it. How many years has the NBA all-star game been horrible? How many games has it been a pain to watch? Quite a few now. So I don't think players really get up for it. But like I said, If the Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth, Team World would win that game. But since the Martians don't, and it's just a fun exhibition game in February, who's to say what's going to happen?
Did you see Mars Attacks? Now, that was a great movie.
Was that animated?
No, it was Slim Whitman sang the yodeled and they all blew up. It was very funny.
I didn't see it.
Oh, it's really good. Really, really good movie. All
Do
right.
you guys have any trepidation with the list?
No, not at all. You did well. And I think that people can get mad all they want about McDavid at 5, but he hasn't been McDavid. He's starting to be. Like, he's over 2 points a game.
Well,
2 points per 60 at 5-on-5 now. He's right where he should have been. He's regressing. He's doing well. Now, the defense, like, I still don't. I'm looking forward to what Gregor says about, does he blame the goaltender last night because the pipes were calling from Glen to Glen early in the game? Or is it like the defensive structure? It felt to me like I don't feel bad for Calvin Pickard, but I kind of felt like, man, he is going to take a whooping from a lot of people verbally online. And I don't know how, coverage is working. And I do wonder if they're going to maybe change a little bit of their coverage, because that high slot is open all the time and it's not good. All right, Gregor on the way. Stetcher is on waivers. Ike Howard is on his way to Bakersfield. Zach Hyman will play tomorrow. And of course, the Grey Cup just around the corner. Thanks so much for tuning into the Lowdown. Please enjoy your weekend.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Loca Quality Market. Your fridge just got an upgrade. Over 200 chef-prepared gourmet meals waiting at Loca Quality Market. Shop local at loca.ca. That's Loca.ca. Edmonton Oilers news as they have placed defenseman Troy Stetcher on waivers and loaned forward Isaac Howard to the Bakersfield Condors. Other news in the NHL, the Toronto Maple Leafs have placed Austin Matthews on IR and activated Joseph Woll to the roster. Brady Tkachuk skating with the Sens and will join the team on an upcoming road trip. At the end of the second in the Pittsburgh-Nashville game, Pittsburgh leads that one 1-0. Vancouver, Carolina at 5. Philly, St. Louis at 6, and the Isles and Mammoth rounding things out at 7. NBA action will get going today with 2 games at 5, Miami in New York and Brooklyn in Orlando. The late game will see Golden State in San Antonio taking on the Spurs. In the WHL, the Edmonton Oil Kings in action. They're taking on the Royals in Victoria, 7:05 puck drop for that one. BCHL will see the Sherwood Park Crusaders in Brooks taking on the Bandits at 7. Also at 7, the Spruce Grove Saints playing host to the Vernon Vipers. You can get tickets at the door, sgsaints.ca. Golden Bears basketball this weekend as they take on the Brandon Bobcats at Seville tonight at 8 and tomorrow at 7. And one final piece of news, McEwen's men's hockey, they take on UBC at the Downtown Community Arena, 7 p.m. tonight, 3 p.m. tomorrow. On behalf of Josh Fenwick, Sam Wilness, and Lowetide, this has been a Sports 1440 update. I'm Declan Krueger. You're up to date.